We have more news from Comic-Con, and the biggest is probably that Spock is coming back. We'll talk about it after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and the latest from Comic-Con with respect to Star Trek Discovery has a number of things which producer Alex Kurtzman says is going to sync the show back up into canon. Now, people have said throughout the first season that it's throwing canon to the wind, and I don't necessarily disagree with this, but the intention, according to the producers, was always it was going to try to make its way back. So they say in the second season, that's when they're going to do it. Now, we've already seen a couple of things, which we'll talk about in a minute. But first of all, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which has been talked about since the sighting of the Enterprise at the end of the first season. Will Spock be seen? And up to now, the rumors have been, yeah, we'll see Spock, but he'll be as a child, in flashbacks and things like that. Now, we've found out through the panel at Comic-Con that, in fact, Spock will appear sometime during the season, but not at the very beginning. And in fact, the story revolves around what happened to Spock, as a matter of fact. The driver of the season is going to be a series of red objects that are going across the galaxy, and that Spock had gone to investigate them, and so he is out of the picture for a little while. We suspect that he's in some kind of trouble, or at least Burnham does. So as they pick up from the end of last season, where they get a distress call from the Enterprise, they are boarded by Captain Pike, boarded to Saru, First Officer and Acting Commander at the moment. We'll make it short and sweet. I'm taking command under Starfleet General Order 19A or some such like that, which has been used before in Star Trek. Basically what it is whenever there is a bigger star, they take command of the ship. So William Wyndham did during the Doomsday Machine. We had Captain Jellicoe take over the Enterprise in Next Generation when they had the problem with the Cardassians. And so it will be in this case where Pike will take command of the ship. I seem to remember predicting that somewhere. As we get ready for the second season, the very end of the last episode, they encounter the Enterprise, a distress call from Captain Pike. But it is very possible that they could take Captain Pike and make him the new commander of the Discovery. It's possible that Starfleet, in all of its secrecy, wasn't intending to send them to Vulcan after all, but to have a secret changeover of command with Captain Pike commanding Discovery. That would be an interesting thing to see. I looked young then, didn't I? At any rate, Pike comes on board, he takes command of the Enterprise, and then they go off looking for this thing, these red dots basically, as they show in the preview they showed during Comic-Con. And we don't know exactly what they're about. We know that they are a menace. We know that at least Pike believes that it's going to be something that everybody needs to be worried about, so he takes command of Discovery and takes off. Now, they've picked someone to play number one, who is played by Rebecca Romijn, and she looks reasonably enough like Majel Barrett that they can pull that off. So at least we will see early on number one, some parts of the inside of the Enterprise, but not Spock at first, and Pike himself, and a glimpse at the new Starfleet uniforms. We could do a whole video on the differences in the Starfleet uniforms, but basically what they've done is they have taken the design that we have seen on the show so far, and it's exactly the same cut. It's just a different color. The piping is done in the color of the shirt rather than in the silver, the gold, or the copper. And the zipper is in the same place, and the odd collar, which is black, is the same collar but blue on the Discovery uniform. So it shows where the evolution of the uniform is going. Presumably by the time it gets to Kirk's time, they simplify the collar and take away the piping and stuff, but the sleeve rank insignia is there. And so an interesting uniform, interesting step toward what we've seen before as far as the Starfleet uniform. Other things that we know is Dr. Culber will be back. We don't know if he will be, Obi-Wan Kenobi spirit, or if they're going to find some way to do a time jump or something and bring him back. But he will be playing a part in the season. We are going to have more humor in it. Tilly, who was the comic relief before, is going to continue that and probably ramp it up a little bit. They even showed in the preview a Saurian who had a cold, and they used that to comic effect. So there are some lighter elements that possibly have been influenced by the Orville, that they realized that they were being a little too stuffy, so they're going to smooth that out a little bit. Now, the other thing, and nobody saw this one coming, is that they are going to have some mini episodes, what they'll call mini treks, which will be from around 15 minutes long, that'll focus in on certain characters, and they will, of course, be fed on CBS All Access. So that's something that'll kind of keep us interested between now and when the show restarts. Another thing, Tyler and L'Rell are going to be also part of this story. I'd kind of hoped that they had gotten rid of the Klingons, but they are going to be involved in some way. Sets have been built for that. So we know that Tyler and L'Rell are going to have some kind of relationship that they're working on while trying to administer the new Klingon Empire. They don't use the Doomsday Machine, but evidently there is something there that allows L'Rell to stay in power. And so they'll delve into that somewhat as well. But it looks like what they're going off for is to find something that's about to destroy the universe. Let's say similar to V'ger times 6. So that's what Discovery is going to be working on this time. Other things they said, Alex Kurtzman, the producer, said they were going to still have a couple of surprises. So even as much has been given away so far, there's still some stuff that we won't see coming. So we're in good place to try and figure out what that's going to be. It'll give us something to talk about between now and then. Also, there's going to be a trip to the Kelpian homeworld, and we get to see more of Saru's people. That should be interesting. So that's what we know for now. If you found out anything, if you've heard anything, let us know in the comments, and also in your feelings about the second season of Discovery. Is it something that arouses your curiosity, or have you completely written it off? Be interested in hearing down in the comments, so please do leave a comment. Leave a like if you like this video, to become a subscriber if you've not already subscribed. That's a very important thing, and will help us continue to build this channel. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about the Orville, which also had a panel at Comic-Con, and we'll tell you about what we have in store for the second season there. But in the meantime, don't go far.